In the marketplace, you have two different types of risk when it comes to technical trading. You have price risk, and then you have information risk. If you were like, I love 78.6s, I love buying off a previous market structure, I love buying Wychoffs. This is actually enough of three reasons for me to justify the trade. I'm going to work my bid at that level. It's a killer level. So that person actually is taking what's called information risk. He doesn't have information from the market that we've actually even turned, and he's got a killer price. This person who actually at this point has looked at his indicators and said, well, this is a bull div that confirmed here on this move up here. Willie is stupidly oversold now, so I think that the market's washed out. There is actually the volume impetus signal that we teach in the level 1 program. That, my friends, is a monstrous buy signal. We had Willie stupid. We had a huge volume impetus buy signal come in on that candle. Now, if I'm going to buy, and now, of course, I look at this and I say, oh, well, that's a 3-bar fractal. This person now has got lots of information from the market to go and actually purchase here. Stealth 13 EMA breakout. You're getting lots of information that the trend looks like it's turning, but you're going to have to actually take price risk now, because you're going to have to come in quite a bit higher than Mr. Information Risk that didn't have a lot of information that this thing was actually turning back up. PEPE. Actually, I think I talked to you guys recently about these meme coins. I think that's the best way to describe them. In sort of a light environment, I actually could see, Bitcoin, let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Looks like the short is full on now. In that kind of environment, it's going to be awfully tough for a lot of these sort of bigger names to rally. What I do like about this one is there's the double bottom, and notice that's the most, geez, is that not the most textbook Wychoff check you've ever seen in your life? So we go boom, and then down here, and go boom, and there's Mr. Wychoff. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, really, really good analogy of Wychoff. And then also too, what do you think the odds are? Oh, look at that. Isn't there some clown that kind of likes that 78.6 fib? I know I've seen that somewhere. Some idiot that barks endlessly, and he just doesn't stop talking. He just keeps talking and talking, and fuck, won't this guy stop talking? And if you don't know who that is, then that's great. I have no idea who you're talking about, Brian. All right, we can even put BFF. Boom. And actually, this is a setup and actually, this is really cool. I really like this one because you can see that was actually a previously defined horizontal support and resistance level. So we could even go support like that. So look at that. You got horizontal support and resistance. You got a Wychoff check of the original double bottom, and you got Brian's BFF. Talk about trade location. Holy crap. All right, DMAX says that's what all I've been teached in TRI from free DB and after DB. Brian give out a lot of value for free. I just took notebook and that's it. There you go. If anything, that Beamish guy should shut the fuck up. And yes, of course, we teach all of this in our education program. But how would you know that we teach it in our education program if Brian doesn't tease you a little bit? So if anything, if you are a proactive member and you do the site membership and all that, and maybe you can teach yourself all the free YouTube videos, all that. Also, too, look at this. If I'm not mistaken, let's see if you guys trivia question. What are we supposed to think if we see things like 8s and 9s on the Tom DeMark? Is that the beginning of a new move? It's interesting how the 8s and 9s came in here, and then all that did was translate into this move here. But interesting how there's another reason to justify considering looking for the end of that down move. Hopefully you look at this and you see, oh, gee whiz, that's what he's talking about with those 78.6s and these reload zones. Your name is kind of like in here, right? And you're kind of asking, should I maybe step up and buy here? And I am just absolutely adamant about I can only buy at or below reload zones. Or if this is a bot, like so, then I absolutely have to see lots of bullish structure coming in to justify me taking that risk, right? Three higher lows. In this kind of scenario, there were no three higher lows, so there's no way in hell this is a bot. So hopefully you get like I gotta say, nice trading. Perfect. Nice. And also too with the eights and nines. The only thing that's kind of missing here is I'm surprised that actually we didn't get any bullish divergence on momentum indicators here. Well, isn't that interesting? So this is technically a MACD bull div. I'm not quite sure why the indicator wouldn't see this. And if anything, just because somebody's written an indicator script, that doesn't mean it's the be all end all. I mean, I like the idea of having it on your screen. Don't get me wrong, but you can see that the indicator script is MWAB or whatever the hell it was called. Right? It did not pick up that bull div on MACD. So I might actually argue that there is a MACD bull div working here. Willie's nice and stupid. There's another. This is a reason why you should take the education program. You're not going to find this tool anywhere else on the internet. It just doesn't exist. This is something that I built myself. And it works very, very well to keep you out of trouble. So the fact that this is stupidly oversold, the public sadly is actually coming in on the sell side down here. That's why I call it Willie. Cheap ass like me, I don't really have a problem coming in on the buy side in reload zones. I might have said, well, we got to wait for the bull divs, MACD bull div come in. And then I'm going to take the risk based on this 3-bar fractal. So that means I go long off of that breakout there, and I'm going to risk to a break of the lows, something like that. And this actually is a really good example. Well, let's just use 2-to-1 to keep it simple. This is a good example of in the marketplace, you have two different types of risk when it comes to technical trading. You have price risk, and then you have information risk. So, and sometimes I get these backwards. So if I do get this backward, don't beat me up. But it's funny how it always seems to work this way. If you were like, I love 78.6s, I love buying off a previous market structure, I love buying Wychoffs. This is actually enough of 3 reasons for me to justify the trade. I'm going to work my bid at that level. It's a killer level. So that person actually is taking what's called information risk. So that's this guy. He doesn't have information from the market that we've actually even turned. And he's got a killer price. And I might have gotten this backwards. I often do get this backwards. So anybody who's actually like, no, Brian, it's the other way around, you idiot. So my apologies, I'm a doofus, but I think I got this right. For some reason I can never remember this right. I should put like little strings or something on my fingers to force myself to remember. Anyway, so you can see this is the guy. There isn't that much information from the market that this actually is a bull market. In fact, if you listen to the market, we're still a bear market and we're heading down. This person who actually at this point has looked at his indicators and said, well, this is a bull div that confirmed here on this move up here. Willie is stupidly oversold now, so I think that the market's washed out. Would be nice, of course, if we had nice W's and stuff on these indicators as well. Haven't even really looked at OBV, but we could make the argument, okay, well, now we have rising volume, so something's happening here. We actually have a W in volume. That's there is actually the volume impetus signal that we teach in the level 1 program. Now, I don't know whether DMAC even uses volume impetus, but this is a concept that we teach in the level 1 program right there. That, my friends, is a monstrous buy signal. That candle right there. So we had the MACD bull div come in on that candle. We had Willie stupid. We had a huge volume impetus buy signal come in on that candle. Now, if I'm going to buy, and now, of course, I look at this and I say, oh, well, that's a 3-bar fractal. This person now has got lots of information from the market to go and actually purchase here. Stealth 13 EMA breakout. You're getting lots of information that trend looks like it's turning, but you're going to have to actually take price risk now, because you're going to have to come in quite a bit higher than Mr. Information Risk that didn't have a lot of information that this thing was actually turning back up. So can you see the difference between information risk takers and price risk takers? That's actually a really good example. So at this point right there, we've got a whole bunch of information that indeed the market is trying to turn, but I'm going to have to pay up for that trade. Whereas this guy doesn't have a lot of information that the market has actually stopped going down, but he's got an absolutely killer price level. So he's not going to have to take that much price risk. Yeah, the bears better be damn careful here. But I would actually argue that the bulls actually are being empowered here. Although I'm gonna miss my, can't see my little BFF here. It's a good working example, right, of information risk versus price risk.